The devastating floods in Ireland, causes, impacts, and lessons learned. Today we delve into a pressing environmental and socio-economic issue that has recently beset Ireland, the devastating floods of October 2023. These floods have challenged the nation's infrastructure and tested the resilience of its communities. This presentation provides an analysis of the causes behind these floods, their impacts, and the lessons that must be learned to mitigate future catastrophes. Ireland's geography and climate. Ireland, positioned on the western fringe of Europe, features a diverse geographical landscape including low-lying plains, rolling hills, and a network of rivers and lakes. The climate is predominantly influenced by the North Atlantic Drift, resulting in a temperate maritime climate. Average annual rainfall ranges from 750 mm in the east to over 2,500 mm in the western mountainous regions. Causes of the recent floods. The recent flooding events are due to a combination of meteorological phenomena and anthropogenic factors. Between October 11th and 15th, Ireland faced heavy rainfall, with some regions recording more than 250 mm over 5 days. This surpassed the monthly averages by 150%. Storm Brea. The primary catalyst was Storm Brea, an Atlantic low-pressure system that brought moisture-laden air masses across the country. The storm's trajectory led to prolonged rainfall in the western and southern regions. A blocking high-pressure area over Scandinavia worsened the situation by prolonging the rainfall. Impact of climate change. Climate change has increased the frequency and intensity of extreme weather events globally. Ireland has experienced a 7% increase in extreme precipitation events over the past 2 decades. Rising sea surface temperatures in the North Atlantic have elevated atmospheric moisture content. Human factors contributing to flooding. Rapid urbanization has increased impermeable surfaces, reducing infiltration and increasing runoff. Expansion into floodplains has elevated flooding risk. Additionally, many drainage systems are outdated and were not designed to handle current volumes of stormwater. Timeline of the flood events. On October 10, Met Éireann issued a status orange weather warning predicting heavy rainfall and flooding. From October 11 to 12, continuous heavy rainfall began. By October 13, rivers like the Shannon, Lee, and Blackwater reached critical levels. On October 14, multiple riverbanks burst, causing major flooding in urban centers like Cork and Limerick. October 15 saw peak flooding, with national emergency services fully mobilized. Hydrological measurements showed river discharge rates exceeded 100-year return period levels. Most affected regions. County Cork experienced severe flooding due to the River Lee overflowing, impacting key infrastructures like the South Mall. In County Limerick, River Shannon flooding affected districts such as Corbally. County Galway saw towns like Clifton inundated. Humanitarian impact. Approximately 7,500 people were forced to evacuate their homes, and there were 15 reported fatalities. Emergency services performed over 500 water rescues. The community's resilience was tested, with families stranded and awaiting rescue efforts. Economic consequences. An estimated 3,000 residential properties suffered significant damage, with 20% possibly uninhabitable without extensive repairs. Approximately 1,200 businesses experienced interruptions, with losses projected at €120 million. Flooding of arable land resulted in crop losses worth an estimated €50 million. Environmental effects. Floodwaters disrupted habitats, affecting ground nesting birds and aquatic life, raising concerns over salmon spawning grounds. Soil erosion and nutrient depletion are expected to impact agricultural productivity in the long term. River morphology alterations could have lasting environmental impacts. Emergency response efforts. The government declared a national emergency and activated the National Emergency Coordination Group. Immediate emergency funding of €70 million was allocated. The Defence Forces deployed 1,500 personnel for rescue operations. Infrastructure challenges. Flood defences like embankments were breached in multiple locations. In Cork, a flood barrier failure highlighted design limitations. Over 150 roads, including sections of the M8 motorway, were closed. Water treatment facilities faced operational challenges. Media and public reaction. National and international media coverage brought global attention to the crisis. Social media platforms like Twitter were vital for sharing real-time updates and mobilizing support. Public discourse included criticism of infrastructure preparedness. Comparison with past flood events. The 2023 floods affected a larger area compared to the floods of 2009 and 2015, resulting in higher economic losses. While some flood defenses were improved post-2009, the scale of recent events overwhelmed these measures. Climate change considerations. Climate models predict increased precipitation variability due to global warming. The IPCC emphasizes the need for adaptation strategies. Ireland's Climate Action Plan targets a reduction in emissions by 51% by 2030. Government and policy response. Short-term relief measures included emergency grants and mobilizing resources for repairs. Long-term proposals involve reviewing flood defense infrastructure and investing in sustainable urban drainage systems, SUDs. Community resilience and stories of hope. First responders and citizens performed courageous acts, rescuing neighbors and strangers. Groups like the Irish Farmers Association provided essential support, showcasing strong community networks. Efforts to rebuild homes incorporate flood-resistant designs. International aid and solidarity. The UK and France offered assistance through emergency personnel. The European Union supported disaster recovery through the EU Solidarity Fund. Global leaders expressed solidarity in addressing climate challenges. Preventative measures for the future. Plans include constructing advanced flood barriers and integrating flood risk assessments in urban planning processes. Enhancing meteorological prediction capabilities is crucial for timely alerts. How viewers can help. Donations can be made to organizations such as the Irish Red Cross and St. Vincent de Paul. Volunteer opportunities and sharing credible information to support climate action or encourage. In conclusion, the devastating floods in Ireland highlight the vulnerabilities faced in a changing climate. A multifaceted approach is imperative, emphasizing infrastructure resilience and community engagement. Collective efforts are essential to mitigate future risks. Credits and acknowledgements. We extend our gratitude to all emergency responders and organizations involved in relief efforts. Data was sourced from Met Éireann, the EPA, ICHEC, and the IPCC. Thank you for your attention and support in fostering awareness and driving change.